How did you start all of in? Any spring break trips? You guys know me so well. Do you want kids? Are you planning on moving to Florida? That is a very good question. Now we're getting to the important things. Hi guys, you might notice a little something different about my setup today. I just got a new camera and I'm very excited because I have bought a vlog camera before, but I brought it on a trip with me and just couldn't figure it out. It was like the little Osmo Pocket one. So today I went and got a Sony camera and it's just like a very classic vlog camera. So I'm so excited about it. Hopefully you can tell a difference. I don't know yet, but it's just kind of fun learning something new. I feel like this video has been long overdue. I've never done any type of like Q&A on my channel, and I feel like it's just such a good way to know more about someone. I do feel like I talk about myself a lot, obviously, anyways, but I get a lot of questions that I feel like I need to just answer them all in one good video. Like, for example, the other day somebody commented on a photo of Matt and I and asked if it was a soft launch, and I was like, oops, I think I need to talk about my relationship a little bit more because people really shouldn't be thinking it's a soft launch. Anyways, this is your sign to grab a fun little drink and something to do while you're watching because it's gonna be a chatty one. I have a raspberry poppy here. I love having a poppy in the afternoon. I just feel like it's so fun. And I'm trying to drink less caffeine. It's not really going well. And then I figured I might as well crochet while we're chatting. I just think that'll be fun. So if you have a crochet project to grab or anything, now is your chance so that we can work on it together. I've been working on this blanket for months now. I love it so much. It's honestly almost completed, I would say. Like, I could use it now if I wanted to, but I'm gonna keep using it until I use up all of the yarn for it. So we'll see how big that gets it. My goal would be probably like a bed size so that can be used as a quilt. But we'll see. I have the questions up on my phone. I put a little question box on my Instagram stories asking if you guys had any questions, and also did a little thing on YouTube. So I put all those questions together into a little list on my phone, and that's what I'm going to be kind of going off of. I try to do a mix of like fun ones, interesting ones, and just like the basics. So, okay, starting off with the basics. My name is Hannah and I'm 26 years old. My birthday is in October 28th to be exact. And I love having my birthday in October, especially that close to Halloween, because there's always some kind of like Halloween party, something fun going on around it, and I just think it's perfect. I got lots and lots of questions about this, but where do you live? I feel like I post so much in Florida that people assume that's where I live, but unfortunately I live in Georgia, which I say unfortunately only because it's so far from all my friends, and I just love Florida so much. But I've been living in Georgia for at least 10 years. I honestly don't know how many exactly. I was born in Florida, in Fort Myers, and then we lived in different parts of Florida and then moved to Texas, then Nebraska, then to Georgia. I'm in Georgia now, but I really would love to be in Florida. So hopefully that's something that could happen in the future. We will see, but that is my goal definitely. We used to go down to Florida for the entire summer and stay with my grandparents, so it's always been a part of my life. And so I'm definitely excited to be able to go back. So hopefully soon, we will see. The other thing that I got a lot of questions about is how long have you and Matt been dating, or are you dating anyone? A lot of people weren't even sure if I had a boyfriend or whatever, but Matt and I have been dating for 7 years now. We've known each other for 8. We were best friends for like a year before we started dating, and we met through some mutual friends. And the funny thing is, the first time we ever met each other was at Duncan. I used to go there and study on Sundays, and he used to work there. So we didn't really ever speak to each other or anything like that, but we just kind of knew of each other from that. So I always think that's funny because I do really love Duncan. It's kind of funny that's part of our story too. And then the other one is, are you and Matt thinking of getting married? Which is a very exciting question. I think definitely yes. In the next couple of years, I could see that for us. And hopefully my friend Rachel will throw our wedding. That is my goal. That she'll just make some kind of like really fun party plan for us. Her and her husband do like a wedding every year for their wedding anniversary, and so they just always look so fun. So I know she'd make some kind of fun one for me. Do you have any pets / do you want any? The answer is yes. I have 2 dogs and I love them so much as if they were my own children. I'm obsessed with them. I have an Australian Shepherd named Lila. She is almost 6 years old. I got her, I think when she was 4 months old. The day I moved out of my parents' house and into an apartment, I picked her up. So I always like to say that me and her are just doing life together and growing up together, and that is the most special thing to me. And then I also have my dog Blue. He's a black lab. He was my Gram's dog, and then when she passed away, I was able to adopt him, which is also very special. He is like my little baby, my little snuggle bug. He is just so perfect and precious. And I just love that I have the two different dynamics of like a best friend and then like a little baby dog. So that's another reason I'm excited to move. I've been living in an apartment the whole time I've had dogs, and I just cannot wait to one day have a backyard for them. I feel like that is like one of my life goals, is to give them a backyard because I know that they would love it. Blue loves to sit out in the sun, and we make jokes that he's like tanning. So I just know he would love a backyard so much. And then Matt also has a dog. It's mainly his mom's dog, Beasley, but I'll insert a photo of him because he is so stinking cute, and I do think of him as one of my dogs as well. He is just precious, a little chihuahua. Somebody at Matt's work had found a box of them on the side of the road, and so Matt begged to keep one, and I'm so glad he did because Beasley is just a perfect boy. I love him so much. I would love to have more dogs, but I also like don't want to have to split up my love too much, so I could definitely see myself fostering dogs, especially once I'm in a house. I feel like that would be so fun. I know it is a little tricky with like different dynamics of different dogs and like they all get along, that type of thing. Do you want kids? I definitely want kids. I probably could adopt a kid right now and be very happy. I feel like all of my life I wanted to be a mom. It's something I'm very excited for. So hopefully in the future I will have kids. I don't know how many kids yet. I feel like a lot of that will depend on all different types of circumstances. Like I have no clue where I'll be at financially or like how much attention the kids will need, that type of thing. But I would like a lot because I am one of 6 and I loved growing up with a lot of siblings. I feel like that was just so fun. We just had built-in best friends, and I would love to give that to my kids as well. But who knows how many kids I'll have. Maybe I'll have 2, maybe I'll have 1, maybe I'll have 6. I don't know. So we will find that out sometime in the future. Is Sid your sister? I got so many questions about who Sid is, if she's gonna be in more videos, if she has her own YouTube channel. Luckily, Sid is my sister and also one of my best friends. It's always so fun when she can be in my videos, and like sometimes when I'm filming, I'll invite her over because it's just more fun when she's there. Hopefully, she'll get to go on lots of trips coming up. She's working on getting her passport so that she can go on all my trips with me. But I love bringing her along with me. Me and her have a 6-year age gap, so it's kind of large, but it doesn't feel like that when we're together. I love spending time with her, and I wish she had a YouTube channel because I would binge watch that every single day. I got a lot of Disney related questions, so I thought that would be really fun to answer a few of them. The first one is your favorite Disney World park. Right off the top of my head, I would probably say Magic Kingdom, but also I really love Epcot. I feel like that one's fun. Magic Kingdom for the vibes, the classic Disney, if I want to go take pictures, that type of thing. But Epcot is very like nostalgic, vintage vibes, like just hanging out, going for a walk, trying all the foods. So I would say maybe if I'm going with like my family or my girlfriends, I would say Magic Kingdom, but me and Matt always have a lot of fun in Epcot. So I know that doesn't really narrow it down, but, and then also favorite Disney character, and that it would definitely be Ariel. I've always been an Ariel girl. I don't know what it is. When I was younger, that was my favorite Disney movie. Favorite Disney princess. I would like memorize the whole thing, recite it in the pool. Like I just loved it. I think because she's a mermaid, I love the ocean, swimming, and her hair, I always thought it was so beautiful. So definitely Ariel. Any Disney trips coming soon? I don't have any planned right now, which is crazy. I feel like usually I have one on the horizon to look forward to, but I don't right now, and I need to. I usually love doing a trip for the Festival of the Arts, but I don't think that'll happen this year. I might be going down to Florida soon, and maybe I could pop in for a day, but I don't have a designated Disney trip anytime soon. I also would love to be able to do a Disney cruise this year, but I do probably have to start planning that if that's something I actually want to do. What is your go-to coffee order? I feel like this does switch up depending on where I'm going, but I'll usually look for some kind of lavender flavor, which is kind of random. It's usually my go-to. If they have anything that's just kind of like a fun out there flavor, I'll usually go for that over like a vanilla or a caramel or brown sugar. If I'm making a latte at home, I usually will put maple syrup, brown sugar, and cinnamon in it. So that's kind of been my go-to usually. I haven't been to Dunkin' in probably like 3 weeks now, which is crazy for me. I used to go every single day, but ever since I got my espresso machine, I've been making my lattes at home, and I've just been craving those so much more. I think because they have less sugar and everything, they don't make me feel as gross. I've definitely been leaning on those more, but I do miss Dunkin'. I probably need to go back there soon. How did you start Olive Lynn, and what is your favorite item that you sell? I started Olive Lynn in my college dorm, my first semester of college. I just was not really loving college at all, really. I've never been that great in school. Like I'm good at getting good grades and everything when I focused, but the second I lose my focus, I was not good in school. So I was looking for something fun to do and I had a gift card to Hobby Lobby. So I went and bought a bunch of like beads and everything and started making my own necklaces in my dorm, and a few of the girls would ask, buy one from me, and I was like, yes, this is so fun. So I started, instead of going to my classes, started making necklaces and stuff, which I don't recommend, but it did work out for me. Then when I was home for Christmas break, Matt encouraged me to start an Instagram for it, and I was like, that's so silly, nobody's gonna want to buy them. And then I started it anyways, and people were ordering them. I got so many orders right when I started for the necklaces, and at the time I was hand making like every single bead. I was like twisting the wire to connect it to the next one. So it was very, very time consuming, but I loved it so much. And then I just noticed that people were asking about like what shirt I was wearing. Like I would take a photo of the necklace and they'd be asking about the shirt too. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should make the shirts. And then I would be like displaying the necklace and the shirt at the same time. So that's kind of just like a really quick summary of how I started it all. Eventually it turned into more of me like doodling things and putting those onto t-shirts, sweatshirts, and kind of like the jewelry being more on the side. But I love it. I think it's so fun. If my younger self knew what I was doing now, she would be so excited, because I always wanted to do something with art, but I thought like only about like an artist, like a paintbrush and a little easel artist, you know? I didn't really think of like a small business owner or anything like that, and it just ended up being perfect for me, honestly. And then my favorite item in the shop is definitely the Flower Bear sweatshirt. I think that one is so cute and very me. I just love the little bear doodle that I do, and then I kind of switch them up for the seasons. Flower one is just perfect. So that is definitely my favorite. I'll put a little picture of it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then another question that kind of goes along with that is more like advice, but how to not be embarrassed when promoting your own small business. I think this one's very easy, but you just have to remember that it's something that you love and you care about. How could you be embarrassed of talking about something like that? I feel like this is luckily something I never struggled with when I was starting my business, because I was just so excited and so in love with the stuff that I was making that I didn't even think about, oh, what are people going to think if I post about this, whatever. Especially once I finally started it. Right before I started, I was like, why would people want to buy it? But then when they did, I was like, wow, this is what I could do for the rest of my life. Just focus on what you love about it and the fact that you love it, and try not to even think about how it would be embarrassing, because most of the time people aren't even thinking that. They're probably thinking, wow, this is so cool that she's doing that, not like, oh, how embarrassing. Kind of going along with college, my business and everything. How long were you homeschooled? I was homeschooled for basically my whole life up until college. I think I went to a private school just for middle school, and then I did part-time homeschooling for like almost everything else, and I loved it. I feel like that is definitely what I would like to do for my kids when I'm older. But I would just go 2 times a week to class, and the teachers would give you an assignment sheet that you had to get done throughout the rest of the week. I feel like it was perfect because it was kind of set up like how college would be, where you just have like a longer lecture and then you go home and you work on it throughout the week. So I loved it. I still got to be social, and I got to go and do like projects and presentations, that sort of thing, but I didn't have to be in a class every single day, which I do feel like that really helped me like creatively to be able to branch out to more things. Did you go to college, and what did you want to study? I did go to college for technically 2 semesters. Actually, I think I technically went for 3 semesters, but I did not do any of the school for that 3rd semester. But it just really wasn't for me, especially because I wasn't studying the right things for myself. I was so conflicted on what to study. I think I switched my major like 4 times, from like nursing, physical therapy, a ministry, and something else, and I just kept switching it because I was like, I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. How am I supposed to decide that as an 18-year-old? Luckily, I started my business and I ended up going that route. If I could go back, I would definitely go into maybe like marketing or some kind of digital design. I feel like that would be so cool, but I just didn't even realize that was an option at the time. What is your favorite place to shop for bikinis? You guys know I'm a summer girl, and that is what is on my mind right now. So when I saw this question, I was like, yes, I need to answer that, because spring break is coming, summer is coming. It is time to start shopping for bikinis. My top favorite is definitely Triangle bikinis. I feel like the way that they fit me, the way their sizing works for me, and their quality is just perfection. I have been wearing Triangle swimsuits for probably like 8 years now, and I feel like they've never failed me. So they're definitely an investment, but they last so long. I have every single Triangle bikini I've ever owned still, and most of them still are in perfect condition. I love them, specifically their triangle style tops. I think those ones are perfect. Any of the like velvety ones too. Also, I really love Lenny Swims. They're a small business and they hand draw all of their like patterns, which I think is very cool. I think Two Sisters own it, which is so cool too. And then also, of course, the Beach Club. I love the Beach Club swimsuits. They're always so cute. And I really hope they come out with some new ones for the summer because I usually live in my Beach Club suits. And then I'm also really obsessed with Dippin' Daisies right now. I feel like they're popping off. Their patterns, everything have been so cute and they always have such good quality. I'm obsessed with them. What hobbies do you have? I have a lot of hobbies and it's always switching up. Right now, I'm definitely in my crocheting era. I've been crocheting all of the time, but I also love to read, ice skate, paint pottery, go on walks, draw, collect things, and so much more. But I love having hobbies. I feel like it gives me a really good work-life balance and just makes me excited for my days. Going along with that is, what are your favorite books? I have a couple books that come to mind right away, and that is definitely The 7-Year Slip, A Novel Love Story, and Love and Olives. I feel like those three are kind of like the perfect books in my mind. And then if I was going into like self-help, Atomic Habits, I'd add that in there. Those four are definitely my top favorite book. I would 100% recommend anyone to read Love and Olives. I think it's a very, very precious romance and it's set in Greece and just like so cute, summery, perfect. And then I also really loved The 7-Year Slip and A Novel Love Story. Those are written by the same author and they have the same kind of like whimsical, charming vibe to them. I'm obsessed with them. Honestly, I really want to reread them soon. They were so good. I'm looking for more books along those vibes and I haven't found them yet, but I would love that for the summer. Are you planning on moving to Florida? I think I already spoke about this, but yes, I would love to move to Florida and it's something I've been working towards for almost my whole life. Honestly, I've wanted to move back there, so I'm hopeful that that's something that will happen very soon. But I'd also be really sad to leave my family because most of my family is in Georgia. It's more of my friends are in Florida and my family's in Georgia, so that would be really sad. But it is my dream one day to move to Florida. Any spring break trips? You guys know me so well. Usually me and my friends do some kind of trip this time of year and I'm very excited because one of our other friends is joining us this time and it's just going to be so fun. So that is coming up soon and you guys will be seeing a pack and prep for that and probably the vlog of the trip as well, which I'm so excited about. I haven't vlogged that many trips with my friends yet and I think that's going to be so fun. What is your dream vacation or travel destination? I feel like this has changed so much in the recent years. It used to be Greece, which still that is up there on my list, but my recent Thailand trip really made me excited to go to like so many new places. So obviously I really want to go back to Thailand, but I also would love to go to Japan and like Tokyo Disneyland. That seems like it could be really cool. I need to sit down and make a list of like all of the places I want to go to because there's so many. Like when we were in Thailand, I was talking to some of the people. They have traveled so much and they were telling me some of their favorite places and I was like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. So I need to make a whole list because there is a lot of things to see out there. I really want to go somewhere where I could see a bunch of hot air balloons. I feel like that would be really cool. I'd love to go on a safari and obviously want to go to Disneyland Tokyo. So I have a lot of places I want to go to. How do you stay motivated and consistent in social media? This one I thought was like a very precious question. It made me feel good because I don't feel like I am consistent in social media, so it makes me happy that someone thinks I am. But I try my best to just kind of post what I'm doing in my life and like things I'm excited about. But it is really hard to stay consistent, especially because life is in like waves and sometimes I have a bunch of energy and sometimes I have none. So consistency in social media is definitely hard. I feel like for YouTube, it's been easier for me because it's something I'm so excited about and having like a schedule with it definitely holds me accountable. Like I try to post every single Sunday, but I think it's important to not be too hard on yourself and to make sure you're doing it because you love it and not because you feel like you need to do it or like anything like that. I feel like anytime I'm too focused on like, oh my gosh, I need to post today or I need to make sure I post every single day for this many days or something like that, I feel like that's when I kind of lose my spark and everything. How do you find time for your hobbies and how did you find hobbies that you enjoy? I feel like how I found hobbies I enjoyed was I just tried everything and I also spent a lot of time on Pinterest, which I feel like gave me a lot of different options. Like Pinterest is so creative and there's so many things out there. Like I can find inspo for almost anything. So I feel like that was a good way of finding my hobbies, because it would inspire me of like a cute photo of a girl reading. I'm like, oh, I want to read, or like a new crochet thing or a sewing pattern, something like that. I feel like it definitely inspired me. Finding time for my hobbies, I just try to make the time. Like I really like doing my hobbies right before bed, like crocheting or reading. And just anytime I'm going to pick up my phone and I'm just gonna be scrolling, I'll kind of try to stop and be like, wait, would I rather be crocheting? And sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes I do want to just scroll on my phone, but also it's nice to have that little reminder of like, I do have the time, just sometimes I'm choosing to do it on my phone. So switching that phone time to crocheting has been perfect for me. Okay, this one is, how/why did you decide to be a supporter of Sisters of Grace? So if you watched my last video, I went to Thailand with Sisters of Grace, and it was honestly the best experience of my life. I could talk about it probably all day. How I got involved with them is my friend Emily actually started the whole organization, and she's just amazing. I worked with her through a different charity that I had been giving to, and when she started her own, I was like, wow, this is perfect. This is everything. And I immediately wanted to be involved with it. So I have been doing Giving Tuesday match campaigns with her for the past 2 years now, I think, and it's just been amazing. Now that I've met the girls too, I just like, my life has changed. I love them. I want to do everything I can to help them. I've answered this one a couple times, I think in other videos, but how did I meet my friends? So a very long story short, but when I first started Olive Lynn, I would see my friends on Pinterest, like Natalie and Greta on Pinterest, and I was obsessed with their photos. I thought that they were the cutest beachy girl group ever. And then my sister showed me one time Natalie's Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize she had an Instagram. And I DM'd her and I was like, please, can I send you this like necklace and you take a photo of it? And she was like, yes, of course. So we just kind of worked together like that for a couple years, or maybe a year, I don't know. And then one time we decided to meet up, and the rest is history. I'm so grateful, because definitely one of my worries with dropping out of college was that I wouldn't have a friend group. So it worked out so perfect for me that I met my friends through my work, and now they're going to be friends for life, which goes into the next question of, how does it feel to be an aunt? I love this because technically I'm not like an aunt yet to my siblings. They're all younger than me, don't have kids yet, but me and my friends all call each other like aunts to the kids, and that is my favorite thing ever. Isla has been saying my name recently and she calls me honey. Honestly, I need to make that like my wake up alarm as her saying honey, because it is my favorite thing in the world. They joke and call me a jelly cat aunt because I love to get the kids jelly cats and to make them little sweaters for it. So that is definitely one of the biggest joys in my life. I love them all so much, and I can't wait to watch them all grow up and be a part of their lives forever. Okay, I thought this was a funny one. If you could only keep one Jellycat, which one would it be? That is a very good question. Now we're getting to the important things. This is definitely, if I could only have one Jellycat, this is who it would be. I named this guy Pongo. I got him on a Disney trip, and I just think he's so funny. Like, the way he's built and everything is so fun. I made a TikTok once of him like dancing, and it was the funniest thing ever. So definitely, if I could only have one, it would be him, because he's just perfect and so funny. How did you find your personal style / favorite clothing brands? I would say Pinterest definitely helped me out with this. I've always been a Pinterest girl, but I feel like it is really good for if you're trying to figure out your style, going on there and just pinning anything that you like to a board called clothing or style or whatever, and then referencing that when it's time for you to shop or go thrifting or whatever. Because for me, I'll just like, before I go thrifting, I'll pull up my style board, and they'll kind of be like, what pieces am I looking for? What's missing from my closet? That sort of thing. And I feel like it really helps me to stay on track. I try not to pay too much attention to like trending things, or if I'm really into a trending item, to think about it for a while and be like, does this really suit me? Is it really in my color scheme, or like what I truly like? I feel like that has helped me a lot to not just be following trends, but to have like my own style as well. And then favorite memory from Thailand. I love that you guys asked so much about Thailand, because it was just my favorite time of my life. But probably the last day, we got to bring Gone out for the day, and we took her to a cafe there, and she ordered a pizza, and she got to feed the fish there, and we just like spent the day with her, talked to her as much as we could, and just like she smiled the entire time. It was the best. And the thing about any of the time with Gone is that like we were communicating as much as we could, but I didn't know exactly what she was thinking or what she was saying, anything like that. So then at the end of the night, we were all sat in a circle, and everyone was talking about their day. And so she was talking about her day, and I was was translating it for us, and she was just sitting there with the biggest smile on her face being like, I got to go eat pizza and feed the fish. And all the other girls were talking about really precious moments from the week, and like they understood that we were leaving and they were sad. So it's like everyone else was like emotional about us leaving, and then Gone was sitting there, she's like, I got to eat pizza and feed the fish. And then I was like, anything else you want to say? She's like, I got to eat pizza and feed the fish. So it was just so funny. It just like perfectly summed her up and just how precious she is. But it was really sad because she didn't understand that we were leaving. And so the next day after we'd already left, she asked what time I was getting there, which made me really sad. I never wanted to leave, but that was probably my favorite because it's just, she's so cute. And then lastly, tips for starting a YouTube channel / TikTok. I thought this was a fun one to end on because I debated so long before I started my YouTube channel for probably literally years. I'd be like, maybe I'll start one now, maybe I'll start one now. And probably my biggest regret is not starting it then when I wanted to so badly, because there's so many trips that I wish I could have looked back on now, or like memories I wish I'd captured. Definitely my biggest tip is to just start. Up until now, I was using just my phone to vlog, and I feel like it's been perfect. People would even ask me like, oh, what vlog camera are you using? Like, I feel like people couldn't tell that it was on my phone. So you can start with your phone. Just start, because it's never as scary as it feels, especially once you start, and it's so much more rewarding once you've started. Like, I'm so happy that I'll have this Thailand video to look back on for my whole life, and I wish I had started sooner so I could watch all of my memories back. But I'm just so excited. Well, I hope you guys learned more about me. If you have any other questions about me or advice or anything, I'll try to answer as much as I can in the comments because this was so fun and I want to share more about my life and everything with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.